never had sex with my wife.
Just like Jay smashed my mom. Though,
actually, a funny story about PSac is that he is. If I walked in with him completely naked with my wife,
the only guy.
Yeah, I would. There would be a reasonable explanation that I would accept.
I was doing my laundry.
Yeah. They're alone together all the time because every time PSac gets me high, I'm gone, and they're up for like hours in the middle of the night alone.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that she had no problem with us being alone. And I remember the first time I met her, when I came over, she was working at we went to visit her actually at a store in the mall, and she was like, "Hi, it's so great to meet you." Like she hung out for like 20 minutes and then was like, "Okay, bye." And I'm like, "You're just gonna leave me here with your boyfriend?" Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be sitting there. We're all drinking. We all have just been like, okay, we're all feeling good. And then, all right, good night.
I'm out.
What the fuck?
You and my friend Jenny. But yeah, Mrs. Infamous has always been super awesome about it. And then she'll just be like, "How was hanging out with Morgan last night? It was awesome. It was so great." And then she just gives me this look like, "Oh, if you fucked her, I'm moving." And then I give her a look going, "Don't worry, I tried."
It would never happen. She still said no.
She told me no.
Again.
Yeah, again, bitch. I don't want to invite her over anymore for Razy. So as we wrap up this episode, this is a new year for us. So first of all, happy 2017, everybody.
Woo!
Because by the time our listeners hear this, it will be the new year.
Yep.
So one of the things that I would like to personally say that I am grateful for is that this podcast, throughout its fruition, has brought many friends of mine that were kind of dormant friendships back into my life. As an example, PSac left me for a long time and came back because of this podcast, and now is, my daughter goes up and hugs him every time he comes over, and he's a great part of my family. Jester and I didn't talk for 15 years. We went to high school together and hit him up to be on the podcast. And now our daughters play together every week and we're talking about a lot of personal stuff. So that's awesome. Morgan, we've been friends for 15 years. We see each other probably on like an annual basis.
She left you.
And we
hope to.
And we cornered you into being on this episode.
Yep.
So now you're officially part of this.
Yeah.
When my grandma passed away, I was fortunate enough this year. My cousins came on after the funeral, and all of us recorded a totally inappropriate drunk podcast together about all of our scary grandma moments. That was a really cool thing to go back and listen to because it exists forever now. It's captured moment. So I'm just grateful for my new and renewed and existing friendships. I'm fortunate to have a lot of good guys and girls in my life that respect me and my family and keep me focused and without stepping out of boundaries. So I just want to say thank you guys for that.
Well said.
Very appreciative.
I like it.
Of that. What about you guys? Anything in 2017 that you're appreciative of or hoping to accomplish? Or
well, I wouldn't know. It's not 2017 yet.
Not yet. We will have had one more episode before that, so we'll cover this again. But
I'm just grateful to have made some moves in 2016. Moving into my new house and all this stuff, and
which is super nice, by the way.
Getting detaching from an old relationship that kind of sucked me in and kept me stagnant for a while. I'm pretty grateful for that. I'm mentally okay. I'm mentally more capable of being free, and thinking free, but also being responsible as a dad,
Not trying to bash on you at all, PSac. This is just exclusive for Jester. One of the other things I'm really grateful for is that you and I are very similar fathers, and I have very few people in my life that I would trust with my daughter, and you're one of them as far as a parent. So
likewise, man.
I appreciate that. Morgan, what about you?
Mine is just letting the small shit go and just really realizing of just being a good person and karma's a bitch and, don't need to sink to anybody's level for anything. Just really taking that high road in everything you do and trying to see the good and, try not to let that bother you.
Nice. I like it. That's good words. PSac? You had a bumpy 2016.
Yeah.
So how are you hoping to rebound from
the medication took care of it, right?
Yeah.
All the bumps, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you buy an 8-ball every week. I don't know. I mean, I've had a rough year and looking towards obviously better horizons, if you want to look at it that way. I'd say for 2017, I would just like to maybe have successes that I can chalk off as like real successes, not just what milestones in life puts in front of you. You know, more personal feel or like satisfaction.
Permanent.
Yeah. More or less just finding direction.
Awesome. All right. Well, by the time you guys hear this, we'll be in our second week of 2017. We will have already covered our 2016 favorites and our 2017 goals and objectives. So sorry if we repeated anything, but we were really fortunate to have Morgan here tonight. We're grateful that you came on the show with us. Thank you so much. And we look forward to a new year with us. Remember, you can get a free book on audibletrials.com/TIC. Lets you give a 30-day trial on Audible and get a free book, compliments of Morgan, who's a big book nerd. And otherwise, just follow us on Twitter or Instagram at RealTIC Podcast. And we look forward to 2017 with you guys. Thanks for listening.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Infamous Chronicles. Our show is produced by Jeremy Elder, talent acquisition is done by Casey Moran, and operations directed by Paul Sinacori. This show is copywritten Infamous Works, LLC, 2016. All rights are reserved. All of our guests appear signed via waivers. We don't own the rights to any of the music featured on our show. We are just fans of it. Visit us at infamousworks.com or call our offices at 844-4-INFAMOUS.